It's well known, and Krista Vernoff, our showrunner, has had interviews talking about it, but we will be addressing COVID. And when we start our season, we're going to be about a month and a half into the COVID crisis. So we know the disease, we know about it. The infections are high. We've had proper training and protocol, and we're just in the thick of it. And so that's sort of where we're going to be starting our season. So, you know, our actors and our cast are uniquely justified to be in full PPE, protecting ourselves as we play doctors. But, I do feel bad for a lot of the other shows that aren't medical shows that, will not be able to be in those protective gears, and how they're going to navigate. This has definitely been a huge problem for our entertainment industry in figuring out not only how do we go back to work in this but how do we go back to work safely and continue to be able to sustain a season, which, as you know, it takes so many people to do what we do, and it's hard to do what we do by limiting the amount of people we have. So it's going to be a new world and an adjustment, certainly. But I'm hoping for the best, and I'm hoping that we can find a way to do this safely, and I'm certainly on board. We're excited to tell the stories also of our nurses and doctors who have just been through hell. Not just with the work demand, but also the lack of support from the government, the lack of masks, the lack of equipment, especially in the beginning when we were just so unorganized. So we're really excited to tell those stories and have those doctors and nurses feel heard and listened to. And so, and also just a lot of the stories of the families, who normally, if you had a loved one who was dying and they were circling the drain and their life was slipping through their fingers, that you'd be there to hold their hand. And now with everything that happened, loved ones weren't allowed into the hospital. So people who were dying for whatever reason, had to go through that alone, or had to look at their loved one through a phone, and, just horrible, unimaginable things. So these are also the kinds of stories that we're wanting to tell as well. So look forward to sort of honoring those people and hoping to tell their stories.